Setting up Google Analytics on your WordPress website can be a headache, but in this video, I'm going to simplify that for you. Even if you've never set up Google Analytics, you have no idea how to do any of it, I'm going to make it absolutely simple for you to install Google Analytics on your WordPress website in this video. So this video is going to be divided into two distinct parts. The first part is going to be how to set up your Google Analytics account. So everything we'll do is on Google Analytics website. We'll set up your website. And the second part, we're going to install the code that Google Analytics gives us on our website and we'll configure it. And for the second step, I'm going to give you two different ways to do it so that you have some flexibility. And I'm going to give you some pros and cons of each so you can decide which method is good for you. Now, just to clarify, both methods are easy to do. There's just a few minutes of time and you already can see the length of this tutorial, so it's not very complicated. All right, with that out of the way, let's start with step number one, which is setting up Google Analytics or an account on Google Analytics. Let's switch to my screen here. So obviously you need to first go to Google Analytics website. So what I've done is just search for Google Analytics or Google Analytics. And the first result is Analytic Tools and Solutions for Beginners. This is the Google Analytics website. So let's go here and we'll sign in or start up or log in with our account. Now you do need a Google account to use this. So if you already have a Google account, then just make sure you're signed in your browser and you can just log in, or you'll need to create a Google account, which is out of the scope of this video, but takes a few minutes of your time. So since I already have a Google account, I'm going to sign into Analytics and this will open up my Google Analytics account. Now, fair bit of warning, I already have a couple of sites set up in my Google Analytics account. So your interface might look different. If you're just starting out, this is your first website that you've ever connected, this will look different. But there's no need to worry, the interface looks absolutely the same. I'm just going to do a couple of additional steps to reach the place where you will start if you're starting out for the first time. So what I'm going to do, since I already have an account on Google Analytics, and if you can, or if you have an account yourself, you have, let's say, an account created, and if you've forgotten how to do this, all you have to do is go to this cog icon here, and inside the cog icon, there's the admin section. So I'll click on it to reach the admin area. And inside the admin area, you need to go to the create section. Now inside the create section, you have account and you have property. Now, property is what we denote or what we refer to as a website. It can also be a mobile app. But since we are just connecting our website to Google Analytics, we'll create a brand new property. So I'll click the property button. This will bring the interface where I can create a new property. The first is a property name. You can name it anything. I'll just name it, business website. And I'm going to change the time zone to my time zone. It's India. So I'll just select the drop down, type in India. You can just do this for your country, whatever time zone you want to be in. And the currency I'll change to Indian rupee. Because I'm in India, you can use any currency you like. Once this is done, you can just click the next button. Show advanced options. There's nothing here. We can just ignore this for now. And of course, you can already see that any of these things can be changed later. So even if you, let's say, make a mistake and you want to change something, it's completely fixable later as well. So no need to worry about it. Let's go to the next step. This is where you just have a couple of options. This is nothing, this does not affect your account, but this information Google collects. So what's your business in? Let's say if I'm in the education business, I'll select jobs in education. Let's say I'm a small business. I'll just select small and click the next button. Now this is where Google Analytics will give you choices on what you're trying to achieve with your website. You have generate leads options, you have drive online sales, brand awareness, examine user behavior. This is how Google Analytics will customize itself for certain kinds of reports if you select any of these options. Now, for the beginners, I'd say, hey, get familiar with Google Analytics. Sometimes you'll discover reports that give you insights that you might not have if you just select any of these options. So what you should do in the beginning is just get baseline reports. So what happens is, if you select this option, you'll get all sorts of reports and then you'll have an understanding of what you're trying to do. And Google Analytics is quite friendly. You can customize reports if you want to later. But this is a great option to have so that you can get all kinds of data and then decide later how you're going to use that data. Once this is done, I'm going to click create. And once we do this, the property will be created and we'll see some details here. So this is the step where we'll tell Google Analytics how do we present or where the data will be coming from. If you had a mobile app, you would choose any of these options, but we're connecting Google Analytics on our websites. So I'll just select the web option. And once the web option comes up, you have these options. Now, what happens here? We just have to create a stream. Now, what is a stream? Think of stream as a stream of data that's connected between your website and Google Analytics. So all you have to do is just enter the name of your website. I'll just enter a dummy website I've created for this example. I'll just name this as well. I'll just say, hey, business website. And I'll just fix it because I also had HTTPS. So I'll just remove that. And now it's fine. Also remove the /. Now, one important thing to remember, as I mentioned already in the beginning of the video, I'm going to show you two distinct ways to do the second step. If you choose one of those steps, you might need to turn this off because otherwise you'll have double reporting and your data will be messed up. But for now, I'll just keep this enabled. And once I show you the second method and how to do it, I'll also tell you how to go back into your account and actually disable this. So just remember that enhanced measurement is something that you should be aware of if it's turned on or turned off, depending on the method you're going to use to connect your website with Google Analytics. Right now, we're just setting up Google Analytics on Google Analytics. So we're just setting up a property. So once this is done, we'll click the Create Stream button, which will create a stream that connects our website to Google Analytics. This is created. Now we have to also connect our website with it. So once the stream is connected, you see all these details. You see the stream name, URL, stream ID, measurement ID, and automatically this will pop up. You can also click and go back. And what happens here, you have all the details that you can see, hey, what's happening, what's the detail or what's the data being captured and all that. All you have to do is now connect your website with Google Analytics by placing a piece of code on your website. So if you just click this button, then it will bring you the same instructions that started here. Now you have a variety of options to connect your website with Google Analytics. You have install with a website builder or CMS. This is also a viable option, but I would recommend that you go install manually. This will just give you a piece of code. And this is a piece of code you have to add or update or I say copy on our website for Google Analytics to work. Now don't worry, even though it looks scary, you just have to click this button and it's copied to your clipboard. And then I'm going to show you how to actually add it to your website. So once you reach this step, technically everything you needed to do on Google Analytics has been accomplished. You don't need to do anything else, but don't close this tab because you might need to refer to this piece of code later in this video. So what I'm going to do is now switch to the second step or second part of the process, which is adding this code or adding Google Analytics to our website. And for that, we'll go into our website, the tab that I've opened with my website open. Don't close this tab. You'll use this later. So here I am inside my website. This is just a demonstration website, so no data here. What we need to do, as I mentioned, we have two ways to do this. So the first method is by using a plugin called Monster Insights. Now, Monster Insights is a fantastic plugin. What it does is not only just connects your website with Google Analytics, it gives you tons of reports about what's happening on your website, and it turns on or gives you additional reports that Google Analytics might not be able to give you directly on your website. So the first method I'm going to do is go into plugins and click add new. Now there's a free version of Monster Insights. There's a pro version as well. I'm going to use the free version. And if you think this plugin is worth it, if you think the features that are available in the pro version are useful to you, then you can use the pro version as well. I'm just going to type in Monster Insights. And in a couple seconds, the search will be completed. I'll see Monster Insights here. So you can see Monster Insights, Google Analytics dashboard for WordPress, website stats made easy. This is the plugin. You can see 3 million plus installs. It's a fantastic, well-recommended plugin. Just click install now. In a few seconds, the plugin will be installed on our site and then we'll activate the plugin. So the plugin is now installed. Let's also activate the plugin. So once the plugin is installed and activated, we'll reach this screen, which is where you'll read about all the features Monster Insights have, all the upgrades and all the whatever you can get with Monster Insights, and a nudge to upgrade to the Pro version because you get tons of additional data. Now, the easiest way to get started, if you're just starting out, you just want to install Monster Insights and have Google Analytics set up on your website, is use this option, which is launch the wizard. The wizard is a step-by-step process which will help you install and configure Monster Insights. So once you click the button, you will just be prompted with a set of questions. And once you configure them, just go through the process, Monster Insights will be set up on your site. And of course, I'm going to guide you through the process step by step. So the first option is, hey, welcome to Monster Insights. What kind of category your website falls in? Since I have a business website, I'll choose a business website. You can also choose publisher and e-commerce. It's important to set this up correctly because the underlying reports and whatever configuration needs to be done will be done on based of this. So if you have an e-commerce website, you need to connect or choose e-commerce. So all the different analytical reports regarding e-commerce will also be set up. So make sure to choose the right option. I'll stick with business because this is a business website. I'll click save and continue. And this is where it gets interesting and easy for you. What Monster Insights does, instead of going to have Google Analytics and finding this code and adding to your website, Monster Insights connects with your Google account and directly configures everything and starts fetching the data for you. So it's hell of a lot easier for you to get started without having to mess with any code. So all you have to do is just click this connect Monster Insights button and it'll take you to the next step by authenticating, and you'll be prompted to connect with Google Analytics or connect with your Google account that you use to configure and create a new property inside Google Analytics. So just click the continue and connect to Google button. I'll take you to the next step. This is where you'll have the option of choosing which Google account you have if you have more than one. I have more than one Google account, so make sure to choose the account you use to create the Google Analytics property. I chose this account, so I'll just click here, this one, and it'll take me to the next step again. It'll ask me to sign in with this account, and this is a prompt. I'll just click continue. And on the next step, this will ask for some permissions. And of course, we want to fetch the data directly into Monster Insights on our website. So we'll need to provide these permissions so that we can have all the data coming to our website directly. I'll click the Allow button here. And once this is done, we'll come back to Monster Insights. Now, this is where you'll need to configure only one thing. If you have more than one website, I have more than one website, so I'm getting this prompt here where I have to select the right property or the right website. If you just have the one website, you might just see the name of the website here. So if you click the drop-down menu here, you'll see tons of options here. So all you have to choose is choose the right property name. And I named it the business website, which you can see here. And you might just see one, so it might be easy for you. Since I have more websites here configured, and sometimes Google also adds demo properties here. So that's why I have to show you this option that select the right property. Click on it, it'll be selected. You see right here. Then click complete connection, which will take us to the next step, and authentication will be done, and this should be done. So let's wait for it to finish. All right, so the configuration is now done. Now we have to configure some basic settings on top of Monster Insights, what we need to track on our website. And this is again very easy to do. On the recommended settings, you have events tracking. Of course, we want to track events, enhanced link attribution. This is also useful. And they also find download tracking. Now, if you have file downloads on your site, zip files, doc files, PDF files, this is very useful. You can track how many people are downloading things. And if you have some other files that you also sell, let's say you might sell Notion templates, you might sell JSON files, configuration files, or images, just make sure to add the extensions here so they can be tracked as well. Now, configuring this is absolutely easy. You don't have to do much. Just click on the field and just type in a comma, because that's how you separate the extensions, and just type in the name of the extension. So let's say I want to track JPG file downloads. I'll just say JPG. I'll also add PNG. I'll also add AI for Adobe Illustrator files. And you can add any types of files that you actually have downloads or enable downloads on your website. There's no limit. So this is how it can, or Monster Insights can configure these settings for you and give you tons of details about, hey, how are users actually using your site? This might have been very difficult to do in traditional sense with Google Analytics. This is where Monster Insights helps you and it makes you shine. So going to another option, you also have affiliate link tracking. So if you have affiliate links on your website and you want to generate more revenue with affiliate links, then what you should do is just configure the kind of, I'd say, modifier you have added to affiliate links so that they can be tracked appropriately, because they are clicks to outbound websites. So right now the basic configuration is go and recommended, which is the default options, but you might have configured differently. Just click the add another link path and configure this however you like. We also have some other options in who can see reports. So default is administrator and editors. But if let's say you want only the administrators to be able to see these reports, just click or delete this editor and only the administrator will have access to reports. Then we have install updates automatically, which is good. You have show Monster Insights badge, which is disabled, and you can help us improve by adding this option, which will just send anonymous data to Monster Insights to understand how you use the product. Once you've done when you're satisfied that you configured these settings correctly, just click save and continue. And this is the next option. Now, this is very important to understand again. So let me just go through it. You have what kind of features would you want to enable on your site? And you see that there are plenty of options. Now, by default, standard analytics and reports is checked and you can't uncheck it. Enhanced link attribution is checked. You can't uncheck it. There's also add recommended plugins to my website. Now, why this is important and useful? If you're just starting out a website, you need tons of plugins. So what we have done is just selected a bunch of plugins that are useful. We have the world's best form plugin. We have the best SEO plugin in the world, and other plugins are combined. And if you enable this option, all these plugins will be automatically installed inside, and you can start configuring them similar to how you're configuring Monster Insights. It's absolutely powerful. There are some amazing plugins out there, and you don't have to pay anything. Now, just to remind you, this is optional. If you already have your website set up and you already have tons of plugins installed, you might not need this. So just remember to check this off if you don't need the plugins. But if you're just starting out, I would recommend that you enable this and have all the plugins be installed inside, and test them and just check them out and how you like them, and then you can use them. There's some other additional options here. Now, some of these will be available only in the Pro version. So if you enable any of these options, you might be prompted to upgrade to the Pro version. Only then will this functionality be automatically enabled on your site. You have the privacy compliance add-on, you have the advanced reporting. So you have search keywords report, real-time analytics dashboard, publishers and e-commerce report. Then you have e-commerce tracking and advanced tracking and media tracking. All this is available in the premium version. So if you need any of these features, just enable this. For example, let's say if I was an e-commerce website, I would enable this. All the necessary settings will be configured. I'll just be prompted to upgrade to the Pro version. Since this is this demonstration, I'll just disable this and also disable this just to keep it simple. Let's click continue to finalize the steps. Now, this is where everything is done. We're seeing the confirmation reports of, hey, everything is installed. So now tracking and analytics are all set up. Now, this might take some time for the data to fetch to your website. So within 48 hours is the maximum of time. So even if once you've done all of this, you might not see data coming to your Monster Insights reports directly or instantly. So make sure to just be a little patient. Now, here nothing is something you to do, or don't need to do anything on this stage. Just a confirmation of whatever is installed, and there's a little nudge to upgrade to the pro version of Monster Insights, which will help you or give you all this enhanced reporting and details. Now, if you already made the purchase, you've decided that, hey, this is a great plugin, I want to purchase this, just enter the license key here. Otherwise, you can click to this button. It'll open up a new page where you'll be able to purchase Monster Insights, the pro version. Once you've done, you can click, or let's say if you don't want to purchase right now, you want to find more information out, that's completely okay. Just click here and click complete setup without upgrading. Once you click this, you'll be returned back to your dashboard. Now you see that Monster Insights is set up. Now, where do you find your reports? How do you find what information is happening? What's happening on your website? You go into the reports section. So inside the Monster Insights, I'd say menu entry, just go to reports, click on the reports section, and this is where you'll find all the reports. Now, some of these reports are available in the free version. Some will require you to upgrade to the pro version. And of course, you won't see any data here because this is just a fresh install and no data has actually transferred over to Monster Insights. But I'm just going to give you an idea on what information you can see here. So you can see the overall sessions, the page views, you can see sessions, page views, the numbers directly here, returning and new visitors, device breakdown, top 10 countries, every information that usually Google Analytics hides somewhere in the complexity of these pages, you can see automatically here. What are the top pages? So much useful information. And you can also export this PDF and you can change the date range and all that good stuff. Now you have tons of different reports here. In the traffic report, if I click this, you have the traffic overview, landing page details, source, technology, campaign, social. Inside the publishers, you have overview, page report, and search console. You have the e-commerce report, you have the dimensions report, the forms, real-time, site media. So many reports. Now, as I said, some of these reports might not be available in the free version. Some of them reserved for the pro version. But I'm just giving you an idea that, hey, every time you want to find some critical information about what your users or visitors are doing on your site, you don't have to go to Google Analytics and search for that complicated report somewhere. All of this information is available right here inside your WordPress account. That's the power of Monster Insights. So it's easy to set up. It configures all the complex Google Analytics setup automatically on your site. You don't have to paste any piece of code, and it gives you reports right here. That's the power of Monster Insights. Now, before we finish this section about configuring Monster Insights on your site, one important thing which I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you have to do. If you configure your Google Analytics using Monster Insights, important to remember to turn enhanced tracking off. So let's get back to Google Analytics for a second. You see this installation instructions. I'll close this. As I mentioned in the beginning, enhanced measurement has to be turned off if you're using Monster Insights. You see this is off. By default, this is on. So if you're setting up with Monster Insights, make sure that is turned off. You make sure it's turned off. Otherwise, you'll have multiple, or I say duplicate data, and then your entire analytics will be completely it will become useless for you, because then you'll have data integrity will be lost. That's a technical term. So make sure to turn this off if you are using Monster Insights. And if you use the second method, which I'm going to show you, which is again very simple to do, then make sure that it is turned on. All right. So that's how you install and configure Google Analytics on your website with Monster Insights. I hope it was easy to follow. So let's move to the second method again, where I'll show you how to install Google Analytics on your website. All right, so let me show you the second method to install the Google Analytics tracking code on your website. Going back to Google Analytics, I already showed you that this is the piece of code you need to copy on your clipboard. So I'll just copy this on my clipboard once again. So now this piece of code is copied to my clipboard. Going back to my website, I've just disabled Google Analytics Monster Insights plugin for Google Analytics. So now we can start fresh. You can also delete this. You'll start fresh. We'll again go into the plugin section, and we're going to install another free plugin which will help you manage code snippets on your website. So I'll just go here and search for WP code. Again, let's search finish, and WP code is visible. Now, WP code is a fantastic plugin. What it lets you do is actually manage code snippets on your site. So anytime there's a need for adding some kind of code to your website, you don't have to mess with your WordPress files, because it can be risky. And as a beginner, you can make mistakes and mess up your website. So WP code is the plugin you should use. So you can manage them, disable them, delete them, edit them, modify them, and do all that good stuff with code snippets. So let's install the plugin now and wait for it to finish. So WP code is installed now. Let's also activate it. So the code snippet plugin or WP code is now installed. Now, how do we add the code snippet? It's absolutely easy. Let's go to the code snippets menu here, and you have lots of options. You have code snippets, add snippet. We have to go into the header and footer option. This is important to understand because the analytics plugin or the script for the analytics plugin or analytics goes into the header section of the website. So I'll click header and footer. And once you see the header, the body, and the footer options, all you have to do is just go here, paste the piece of code. I just press Control V on my keyboard. You can just go back, copy this, go back here, paste this. Once this is done, now is the hard part. You have to go and click the blue button here to save your changes, and well, you're done, right? I was scaring you a little bit, but this is how easy it is to set up Google Analytics on your website with the help of WP Code. Now imagine you having to go to your website and messing with the files. Where do I need to paste it? All that. It's scary stuff. So that's why this plugin or this process makes it absolutely easy. So let's recap what we learned. We set up Google Analytics property. I showed you how to use Monster Insights to set up Google Analytics on your website perfectly easily. And then showing the code snippet method by using this, we use WP Code to just add this piece of code on our site. And within a few hours, or I said some less than 48 hours, if you have traffic coming to your website, you should start seeing reports in your Google Analytics account. So let me know which method is the one that you'll be using to set up Google Analytics on your website. And if you have any questions, leave that in the comments. Otherwise, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, spread the good karma out there. My name is Yuvraj, you're watching WP Beginner, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.